So you worked at a foundation, so you worked at the Gates Foundation, and now you're trying to do something which is, I guess, more of a social enterprise. How do you feel about organizations that are doing nonprofit stuff with a lot more social impact compared to social enterprises or business at the base of the pyramid, which kind of try to strike a balance between the two?
Yeah.
Why are you interested in starting a company versus either working for a foundation or, at some point later in your career, starting a foundation of your own?
Absolutely. I think either one can be a path to great impact. I think to take the question to why I've focused on a for-profit model right now, I think I actually went back and forth on whether I should focus on for-profit or non-profit, and I think I settled on for-profit because it would enable the venture to scale a lot more quickly and impact to be scaled a lot more quickly as a result. So I think that different markets are better or worse situated for the for-profit or non-profit intervention. I think in also the different models of foundations out there, the operating foundations that are really not making grants so much as going out every single day and delivering programs versus the grant-making foundations like Gates Foundation that are deploying capital on a daily basis to solve big, kind of seemingly intractable social problems. I think to be really effective and drive agendas as a grant-making foundation, having scale is wonderful, but not an absolute prerequisite. To be an operating foundation, it's actually a little bit more like a business in a sense. It's a little bit more like trying to come up with the right social impact model rather than business model to make it work.
Gotcha. And so you worked in the Gates Foundation and you worked with the Monitor Group. How would you contrast the two experiences, and what were the learnings from both of them, and how do they relate to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually at Clinton Foundation, and Clinton Foundation is...
I just give up.
Totally cool. I'm flattered. Clinton Foundation is an operating foundation, and it is primarily composed of former consultants, or I shouldn't say primarily, rather largely composed of former consultants. So it definitely has, in ways, the ethos of a consultancy with also the mission of a traditional nonprofit. So actually, while I was there, I spent time through osmosis learning a little bit of the consulting skill set, and at Monitor this summer it was good to solidify that and to practice it in a little bit more focused of a manner. I think what those things bring to me, or what those things enable me to do now in this startup, at Clinton Foundation's a really entrepreneurial place, and every organization kind of describes itself as really entrepreneurial, and some are truly more than others. Clinton Foundation had an openness to new ideas and entrepreneurship that was a lot of fun to be around, and I think there I caught the fever for finding new ideas or new ways of solving problems that previously hadn't been employed, and then scaling those up. So I think that's the primary thing I take from my work at the foundation before. In addition to that, I think also just the interest in social impact. It's so imbued in the culture there. It's difficult not to live or work every day there with that in mind.